Former President Donald Trump may be sued civil lawsuits related to the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. In a long-awaited and consequential decision from the Federal Appeals Court, Washington, D.C., the decision will have significant implications for the many lawsuits filed against Trump in Washington, D.C. federal court related to the 2020 election. The decision stems from lawsuits filed in Congress by Capitol police officers and Democrats. The opinion Chief Justice Sri Srinivasan states that not everything a president does or says while in office is protected from liability. The opinion stated that the president does not spend every minute of every day fulfilling his official responsibilities. The decision to allow lawsuits filed against Trump on January 6 to proceed was unanimous among 3 judges on the D.C. Judge Greg Katsas concurred in the decision, and Judge Judith Rogers also joined in part. Trump can continue to raise additional objections on the issue if he wishes. But now the ruling allows 3 lawsuits to be filed against Trump by Capitol police officers, members of Congress seeking recovery for emotional distress and physical injury caused by the attack. At least a half-dozen other lawsuits could be filed against Trump. The complaints are based largely on a federal law that prohibits individuals from conspiring to prevent a person from holding federal office. The appeals court's ruling could also shape how justices look at immunity claims made by Trump in his federal criminal case related to the 2020 election. But Friday's decision applies only to civil cases. 2 of the lawsuits were filed by House Democrats, and the third was filed by Capitol police officers. According to complaints, lawmakers allege they were threatened by Trump and others as part of a plot to stop the congressional session that would certify 2020 presidential election on Jan. 6, 2021. They argue that Trump should take responsibility for directing the attacks. Trump has moved to dismiss lawsuits against him on various grounds, including presidential immunity. The D.C. District Court rejected former president, saying his actions in run-up to U.S. Capitol riot were all an effort to remain in office, and not the official duties of his presidency. The district court found that Trump was protected by presidential immunity from the claim that failed to stop the insurrection, in which case he said would exercise official presidential powers. The appeals court's opinion on Friday drew a distinction between campaign speech by a president seeking re-election and official acts of the presidency. Trump argued in court he was immune from anything he said while president, but court found that wasn't case and noted Jan. 6 Trump rally before insurrection at Capitol was potentially part of his campaign. Trump will be able to challenge facts of the case as proceedings progress. The appeals court also said Trump could make further arguments about immunity before the Jan. 6 trials.